Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most vital ecosystems on the entire planet, the tropical rainforest. We're going to uncover exactly why these incredible places are so crucial, not just for the people nearby, but for every single one of us, no matter where you are in the world.
So let me just start with a question for you. Can you think of a single ecosystem that can regulate our climate, stock our supermarket shelves, and hold the cure for deadly diseases? Well, the answer is the tropical rainforest, and we are about to break down exactly how it manages to pull off all of these amazing feats. So here's the game plan. First, we'll look at their job as the planet's thermostat. Then, we'll dive into all the products we use every single day. After that, we'll explore nature's pharmacy, dig into their incredible biodiversity, and finally, we're going to set the record straight on a very common myth about oxygen.
All right, first up, climate regulators. This is, hands down, one of the most important jobs that rainforests have on a global scale. I want you to think of them kind of like Earth's thermostat, always working behind the scenes to keep things in balance. Now, to really get how they do this, you need to know this term carbon sink. It's pretty simple, really. Through photosynthesis, all those trees and plants in the rainforest just soak up massive amounts of carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas, from the air, and they lock it away. And the sheer scale of this is, well, it's just staggering. The Amazon rainforest all by itself stores billions of tons of carbon. It's not just in the trees and plants, but in the soil, too. It's this huge living vault of carbon that would otherwise be up in our atmosphere, heating things up. And this really shows you the two sides of that coin, right? When the forests are standing, all that carbon is stored safely away. But when they're cleared or when they're burned, all of that stored carbon gets released right back into the atmosphere, and that directly fuels climate change.
But look, the rainforest's impact isn't just about the global climate. It's also right there in your home. So let's take a look at the world's natural supermarket and check out some of the everyday products that come straight from the rainforest.
I mean, this list is just incredible. You've got valuable hardwoods like mahogany and teak that end up in furniture. You've got fibers like rattan for chairs and baskets. And then, of course, all the foods and spices we just take for granted. Bananas, chocolate, coffee, vanilla, ginger. I mean, the list just keeps on going.
So the really big takeaway here is that this is not some far-off abstract ecosystem. No way. Whether it's the coffee you drank this morning, that chocolate bar you love, or even the chair you might be sitting in right now, the rainforest is woven deep into the fabric of our daily lives and our whole global economy.
Okay, now let's shift gears to something that is literally life-saving. The rainforest as a kind of living pharmacy. This is where we see its unbelievable potential to heal us. It is a pretty wild fact when you stop and think about it. A huge number of our modern medicines, they didn't start in some sterile lab. No, they started with chemical compounds that were discovered in the unique plants and animals of the rainforest. That connection between nature and medicine is just incredibly powerful.
And this is a perfect example of how that whole process works. So, you take the rosy periwinkle plant from Madagascar. Scientists took a close look at it, they isolated some unique compounds, and from those, they developed powerful new drugs. And the result? A life-saving treatment for childhood leukemia. It's just a perfect story of discovery leading straight to a cure.
And that brings us perfectly to our next section, the rainforest as this incredible treasury of biodiversity, because it is, quite simply, home to most of the life on Earth.
Just look at this chart. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Scientists estimate that tropical rainforests hold more than half of all the world's plant and animal species. That is just an insane concentration of life all packed into one type of ecosystem.
And here's the real kicker. All of that extraordinary variety is squeezed into a tiny, tiny fraction of the Earth's total land surface. It's that sheer density of different species that makes these places so special and so unbelievably important for the planet's overall biological health.
Okay, for our final section, we need to talk about a really popular idea. You've probably heard the rainforests called the lungs of the planet. We're going to set the record straight on what the science actually says. This is the great oxygen myth. So you've definitely heard this claim before, right? That the Amazon rainforest produces something like 20% of the world's oxygen. It's a powerful statement for sure, but is it actually true? Well, the reality is a little more complicated. Yes, photosynthesis pumps out a massive amount of oxygen during the day, But the rainforest is a living, breathing system. So day and night, the plants, the animals, the microbes, everything in that same ecosystem is consuming oxygen through respiration. The two processes are pretty much in balance. So here's the bottom line. The rainforest's net contribution to the world's oxygen supply is actually very, very small, close to zero, in fact. But does that make them any less important? No, absolutely not. It just means their true immense value lies in regulating our climate and protecting that incredible biodiversity we were just talking about. So let's just do a super quick recap of what we've covered. Rainforests are absolutely essential for four huge reasons. 1, they regulate our climate as massive carbon sinks. 2, they give us resources we use every day. 3, they hold the key to future medical cures. And 4, they are the world's most critical biodiversity hotspots. And we'll end with this thought. The rainforest gives the world so much: climate stability, resources, medicine, a home for millions of species. It just gives and gives. So the real question we should leave with is this: what does it ask of us in return?